Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 a.m. on January 22nd. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm David Alvarado as we take this beautiful look at Ashland.
And I'm Brinkley Hill. Let's check in with Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress right now. Sarah, that's a really nice view of Ashland, but I know it's cold out there.
Yeah, looks are a little bit deceiving. You can't tell too much because it is dark outside, even as we're heading over towards Klamath Falls. We'll take a look in a second, but clear skies across the region. Some areas into Grants Pass developed some fog this morning, but should clear out pretty quick. But right now, 18 degrees in Klamath Falls, and they're not the only area dealing with very cold temperatures this morning. 23 into Grants Pass, Medford 24 into Northern California, 18 to Montague, 25 into Mount Shasta. Heading over to the coast, Brookings right now 44 degrees. As we're making our way up a little bit north to the coast, right now as we're heading into Port Orford, temperatures in the 30s this morning. But taking a closer look at what we can expect for today, the first half it is going to be very cold in the Rogue Valley. We'll be into the 30s by the time even we're into lunchtime. In the afternoon, that's when we'll see those temperatures warm up a bit. And by the time you're heading home from work or school, we'll be just reaching up into the 50s, clear skies throughout the day. Around the rest of the region, bright and sunny. You're not going to want to leave the house without those sunglasses. And high temperatures are going to be a bit above average into the 50s for our west side valleys. Along the coast, 61 for Brookings, into the Klamath Basin, 47 for Klamath Falls. In Northern California, a few areas into the 50s. We'll break down what we can expect for the rest of the week as well in our next forecast.
People come by honking and screaming. It puts me down further.
That testimony from a Grants Pass man experiencing homelessness as the city's 7th Street resting site is enforcing new operating hours.
NewsWatch 12 was there as a community response team and local organizations were helping people gather their belongings.
One of 2 designated campsites for people experiencing homelessness in Grants Pass is now only open from 5 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Well, at 7 a.m. this morning when I was here, it was 26 degrees, icy, pitch black, dark.
Community resource officers and community members help those individuals gather all of their belongings and leave the site.
What we're trying to do is find safe shelter and help those particularly who are medically fragile and emotionally fragile, and that's a whole bunch of people.
At midnight this Friday, the city will be shutting down a J Street encampment with more than double the amount of people. NewsWatch 12 spoke to Jeffrey Dickerson, who was priced out of his home after his landlord sold a house years ago. He said people with his experience often get lumped in with those struggling with addiction.
People that want to be there, they're going to be there. They're going to be doing what they want. It's like a party for them, but I don't like this party.
Grants Pass police say there were no incidents at the encampment, as police are also working with community services like Mint, U-Turn for Christ, and other agencies in preparation for J Street's encampment closure. We also reached out to City Council and Mayor Scher for an interview, and we are still waiting to hear back. In Grants Pass,
I just wish I could trade places with people that look down on us. We're not all bad. We're not all bad, man.
I'm Carlos Murrieta.
The city of Ashland is trying to address homelessness in Jackson County. The city asking for volunteers to help with the annual point-in-time count. On Monday, January 27th, this operation will document the number of individuals who are experiencing homelessness in Jackson County. Volunteers collect data for local and national resources to help tailor these organizations to the unhoused population's needs. For more information, you can go to our website.
Developing news this morning, flight attendants at Horizon Air, which is owned by Alaska Airlines, have filed for a federal mediation. The flight attendants say they are not paid the same as Alaska Airlines flight attendants. According to a news release from the Association of Flight Attendants, Horizon Air's flight attendants have different contracts than those on Alaska Airlines. Filing for federal mediation with the National Mediation Board is a step to negotiating the attendants' contracts. The board will oversee negotiations, assign a federal mediator, and schedule mediation sessions.
We're following up with the superintendent of Ashland School District, who's facing a daunting budget shortfall.
Yeah, I got the chance to take a look at those district's finances and really how Dr. Joseph Hattrick is mitigating that storm.
Very optimistic with the level of support from our community, as well as open-mindedness and the level of problem solving our staff have come up with.
Dr. Hattrick and his staff have been working to solve the Ashland School District's finances. When he first came in, they thought they were facing a $600,000 shortfall, but it turned out to be more than over $1 million. They've had to come up with some tough solutions, like reducing spending by millions, making field trips cost neutral, and even trimming a few school days down to save money.
We were incredibly fortunate that somebody came forward and donated $850,000 to the school district to limit the impacts to our students and faculty mid-year. So what that actually resulted in is not eliminating any staff this school year. So instead, what we were able to do is eliminate 6 school days this school year. Fortunately, though, only 3 of those days will impact students.
He wants parents, staff, and students to feel confident going into school each day, knowing that the district is financially stable. He's aiming to get the district to an 8% reserve in the next couple of years.
There are people who have been here their entire lives, and so it would be really disingenuous for me to make those decisions by myself as a newcomer. I really value the opinions of people who have been here and know what's best for Ashland and for their students.
Reporting in Ashland, I'm Damian Alvarado. Oregon Senators Jeff Merkley and Ron Wyden say over $1.4 million in federal funding is coming to the state in order to help homeless veterans secure affordable housing. The funding comes from the federal housing assistance, with the funding going all across the state. Senator Ron Wyden said in a statement, veterans coming home to communities in Oregon deserve every possible opportunity to have a home of their own to live in. That's key to success in civilian life.
Senators Merkley and Wyden have also announced nearly $30 million for wildlife and sport fish restoration projects. The funding is from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to support projects that connect people with nature and wildlife. Over $21 million will go to 18 wildlife areas at 7 regional habitat programs. Almost $7.9 million will go to sport fish restoration.
A Mazama High School student was taken into custody after a gun was found at the school. Both Brixner Junior High and Mazama High School were in secure status after receiving a tip about a possible threat. Administrators and law enforcement responded immediately and were able to locate the gun within 45 minutes. The student was taken into custody and booked at the Klamath County Juvenile Detention Center. An investigation is ongoing, with more details on our website. Plus, a road rage incident has a Medford man in jail after he fired a gun from his car. Medford police responded to the incident on Thursday last week. The victims reported that a man had threatened them with a gun before leaving the area. The suspect later returned and fired his gun before leaving the scene. 34-year-old Brandon Blackwell was determined to be a convicted felon and was taken into custody Friday morning. You can find more details on this story on our website, but officers did confirm there were no injuries in this incident.
More than 40,000 marijuana plants were taken and destroyed in Josephine County in 2024. The Josephine County Sheriff's Office conducted 40 search warrants on illegal marijuana grow site operations. You're seeing a couple of those busts on your screen right now. And as part of these operations, 8,000 pounds of illegal processed marijuana, 57 firearms, and $250,000 were taken last year.